Welcome back. Okay, you guys can talk to us on Twitter and on Facebook. And today we're going to be focusing on grassroots sports development and Prince Adewale Oladunjoye, that's the former special advisor on grassroots sport development to the former governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Rajifashola SAN. He will be joining us on this segment later in the program. But then you can talk to us on Twitter and on Facebook. What do you think what we can actually do to develop grassroots sport in Nigeria? They've started with Lagos City Marathon, but then that more like an elite level. But you saw so young lads who actually, participate in that race. How can you actually bring them up and also adopt a talent kind of program where different sponsors can just pick up a kid and get to train that kid to, the highest level in terms of sport? And we talked about the UEFA Champions League. Barcelona is going to be a huge one for them if they can, come back from that 4-0 thrashing on Valentine's Day to book a place. And last system, well, that's going to be difficult. But then you talk to us on that one also. And well, Tayo, we're going straight to now the African Continental Road Championship, where Team Nigeria, it's not doing so well. But then the tournament is still on, talking about cycling.
I mean, yeah, they've had a very not so good start. Yeah, that's the reality. The tournament, the competition is actually holding in Egypt, and Team Nigeria finished 4th and 7th. That's in the team trial event yesterday. I mean, Cecilia, for me, it is just good that these guys are actually competing. I mean, obviously, it's going to be very tough for them because of the level of opposition that they're facing in Egypt. So I like the experience, exposure. It's going to, eventually it will pay off. I mean, we can't start, expect them to go to Egypt now and just go and dominate when you've got other African countries that are really good when it comes to cycling.
Eritrea, Algeria, all of them. Eritrea finished first in that one. Algeria second, and Rwanda came third. But in the male category, it was actually the female who finished 4th and 7th overall in the team trial. But for the men,
they finished 7th.
Covering a distance of 57 kilometers. But at the end of the day, what was important, you talked about the fact that they will be participating. But today, out of the 11 countries participating in the time trial, today you have one Nigerian athlete in the girls category. So talking about Jessica Okore. She will be doing her race today. Then the senior boys and girls will race on Thursday in the individual time trial, while the road race comes up on Saturday for the females and their male counterpart. That will be on Sunday. So there's so much to look forward to in the African Continental Road Championship taking place in Egypt. And Team Nigeria, well, I think they'll definitely want to go one better in that one. Now, we talked about the Super Eagles coach at the beginning of the program, saying that Cameroon, their favorite to actually win both legs.
Yeah, the double.
As of now, you're talking about now.
Yeah,
okay, so which is it?
I mean, it's making a lot of sense now. I understand where it's coming from. I mean, Cameroon, African champions. We can go on and on about that. They've been together for like a month in Gabon. Played 6 games on their way to winning the AFCON. So the spirit is high. There's the understanding is there, And for the Super Eagles, you can't say the same. The Eagles have not been together for a while now, and players moving clubs, very important players, having to move clubs, some going to China, some can't play. Someone like Kelechi Iheanacho can't get a game at the moment. And if you look, if you weigh those two together, you understand where Gennaro is coming from. But you said it in that particular interview as well, so that there's still time. A lot can still change, and he's particularly looking forward to the March 26th friendly against Senegal. That's been confirmed. Nigeria will take on Senegal and either Ghana or Morocco. So he's hoping those two matches will help put Nigeria in good stead to face Cameroon later on in the year. It's still August and September, so there's still a long way to go. A lot can still happen. The Cameroonian players, can lose form. I mean, the coach might not even survive. Who knows? A lot can happen in football. But right now, I get where it's coming from. Cameroon favorites to win a doubleheader for the qualifier for the 2018 World Cup. Cecilia, I don't know. Do you agree?
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't agree with him. I think Super Eagles can actually win. For now, on paper, Cameroon can if we play the game now. But later in August, I think Nigeria got the better chance. We just listen to Super Eagles coach now, and then after that, Wale Oladunjoye will be joining us on the next segment. Stay with us.
I'm not afraid of this team now. I'm happy for them to be, I'm happy for us that we can beat, perhaps, I'm sure that we can do it, the Africa champion in Uyo in August. So it will be a very big game. Perhaps they are favorite now in the 2 games against us because they are champion and we didn't play at all. So they have a little bit advance in preparation for the next time and for the next games. They play Confederations Cup. They will have a lot of games, perhaps very difficult for them to handle this situation because they don't have so many holidays to rest. But I think what is positive for them now, they live together 5 or 6 weeks. They played together 6 games and they're becoming better and better, which is normal. And we didn't do anything together with our Super Eagles team. We only could monitoring and speak with our players in their clubs. So it was not the same work, we did. But we are fresh and we are happy to be together in March. One of the biggest teams who was favorite is Senegal. They were unlucky. They were eliminated on penalties. And this team we will play at first in London in March. So it will be a big test. And the second team could be Ghana, I think, or Morocco, because they play very good football too, and collective football, and good harmony in the team, just like Cameroon. And so we will play these 2 games, and we have another game, official game against South Africa. We must prepare also South Africa because it's very important. We can not only focus on Cameroon. At first will be South Africa, but we have already in our mind, of course, the 2 games against Cameroon. But first focus is South Africa. That is why I think Ghana game in friendly could be interesting because they are similar, not only in the language but also in playing football like South Africa. So let us go step by step. We want to have new players to integrate, to involve in our team, and we need the 2 friendlies in March to help them to do it well. This is a normal situation. We had the FIFA transfer window and some players changed the club. We have some good news with NDD in Leicester. He's playing very well, and we have Musa Mohammed is going to Bosnia, so he can play much more than he played in Turkey, I think. And our players who didn't play in the clubs like Mikel Obi, they play now in China. They play good football in China. It's not a small championship. China now has big players. So some other players who are waiting for the opportunity who can come in June, when the end of June, the next transfer window. So that's the life of a national team. We must be realist and to see what happens with the players and take the best one when we have to do the choice.
Okay, that's coming from World Super Eagles coach. A whole lot he needed to talk about concerning the team and also the players that have moved. Hopefully they start playing well. And of course in August, when we'll be facing the indomitable Lions of Cameroon, we should be able to get something out of that. First is going to be in Nigeria before the second leg in Yaoundé, Cameroon. Prince Wale Oladunjoye joins us now. On this segment, we'll be talking about grassroots sport development. Not just talk about it, also the way forward for the sports. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Cecilia.
Good to have you.
Good to have you on the show.
Nice meeting you.
It's been a long, long time.
Oh, yes.
It's always hard to get you down.
I watch the program every time, every morning, and also the gentleman and the evening at 9 o'clock too. Quite impressive. And,
thank you.
I must thank the Channels Television for all you're doing. It's very, very, very encouraging.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Now, let's start with, I remember, when you were, principal special assistant to Governor Babatunde Fashola's former governor of Lagos State. There were a lot of grassroots programs that were actually developed during that time, and some of them are still being followed. Generally, how will you assess the development so far, especially in Lagos State?
Yeah. I must thank the governor for actually continuing some of the programs, and also particularly the last mega event, the marathon, is quite emphatic and is very big, and it has actually showcased Lagos again in the Community of Nations and the world. And that's what we're saying. Let Lagos be the hub where all of them should come in and participate for our youngsters. Rub shoulders, run with them. You could see the teaming heads actually running that. That's very impressive, very infectious, very infectious. And it's only Lagos that can do it. And and I think other states should keen to it and also spread this gospel of youth empowerment, youth development, and getting them really busy.
Okay, now that one is on its way. Now there's also this Adopt a Talent kind of program that's also on. There's also the Governor's Cup, of course, that's been going, yearly and yearly. Now, obviously, you have athletes who participated in this. You have players and all that have taken part in this. How are we harnessing, these talents?
It's a continuous process, and I want to thank the Sports Commission Lagos State for actually keen to it and continue to follow it. They need to actually have a wider, netting program to actually take them in. And more, because prior to the time we left office, I know we did a report to the former governor. In that report, we actually highlighted the number of athletes who actually been sponsored. Sponsorship is about a little bit, another 450,000 naira annually for these youngsters. What does this do? This actually takes care of their feeding, actually takes care of their transportation from their homes to the training venues, and also, replace their wares, because we also give them equipment and materials. But then, they wear out, and you need to continue to, support them. And I think we need to continue to do this, because these athletes, we have another 470 or so who actually have been cleared for medical, and we're going to do the next phase, which we actually give to them, and I think it should continue. But those who actually have been sponsored, the former governor, the former deputy governor, former chief of staff, the former peers, and the quite individuals, chairman of state FA too, sponsored some athletes, and it's good, and I think they are like their children. Some you have option if you want them to live with you. You have option if you want them to know you. You have option. It's just what we see overseas, and that's what about adopt them in their chosen career. And what do we mean by adoption? They are not just anybody. They are exceptionally gifted and extraordinary athletes. You remember we mentioned that clearly when some of the workshops we had. They are exceptionally gifted and extraordinary athletes who actually been sourced, who actually been recommended by various people to us to look, and we go through a process. We do their medicals, we do their training. We know you can't come from the back door. You just have to, because if you are so gifted, we want to just be in the middle as a gap to close the gap and help these athletes who have not reached where I am now, or even to be able to speak so and let's speak for them. And I believe honestly, athlete-centered sporting activities and programs are to be given that leeway to go on, because these are things that will make them to grow and also improve them, because they're not asking for too much. They're not asking for too much, sincerely.
Exactly. Yeah. Earlier you talked about training venues and stuff like that. Obviously there's no sports development without quality sporting facilities. Would you say there's enough in Lagos and Nigeria as a whole in terms of sports and facilities?
Thank you very much. That's one sore area we need to mention, very unfortunately. With almost 170 million Nigerians, and talking about 65 of them to be youth, we do not have enough facilities. In doing that, we need to make sure that as a government, the federal government must, as a matter of urgency, come in to rescue the situation. The federal government should see this as their equity, participation and contribution to all local governments, putting a functional minimum facility that they can use not only for competitive sports, but even for recreation. We have seen a lot of youngsters, a lot of old people going about the link bridges, the roads, even against traffic and dangerous. But then, what they're saying to us is that they are resorting to self-help. If you don't help them, we would kill ourselves. You better come and help us. Let me also shock you. A few years ago, there was this reclamation going on Ilubiri axis. As soon as they excavated the sands and put them, before they settle, you find young guys playing on that part. And in case it gives way, what will happen? But then I think, and it's still going on.
They're playing. So just hold your thoughts right there. We'll go for a break now. We'll come back. We'll continue with that discussion. Stay with us.